Alice Ruth Nielsen, known as Countess Ruth von Rosenborg, was born in 1892 in Denmark. Her life was filled with captivating events and intriguing twists of fate. Coming from a respected family, she displayed a passion for art and culture from a young age. The education she received at one of the finest schools allowed her to engage with representatives of high society and culture, shaping her future path. A pivotal moment in Ruth's life came with her acquaintance with members of European royal families. In the early 20th century, she married Fleming Valdemar A.F. Rosenborg, who became not only her husband but also her steadfast companion in the world of aristocracy. Their union was both a business arrangement and a romantic partnership, and Ruth quickly gained popularity in society. She was a vibrant personality whose charisma and style drew attention. However, it was not only her personal life that made Ruth von Rosenborg an outstanding figure. She was a true style icon, and her passion for jewelry became a prominent part of her image. Her collection of adornments impressed even the most discerning connoisseurs. The Countess possessed exquisite taste and knowledge in the field of jewelry art, allowing her to amass truly unique pieces. One of the most memorable pieces in her collection was the turquoise star tiara of Princess Ingeborg. This tiara was a gift from her cousin, the Russian Tsar Nicholas II, when she married Prince Karl of Sweden and Norway, Duke of Westergotland, in 1897. Princess Ingeborg frequently wore the tiara in her later years, and it is often seen on her after she gifted her magnificent emerald parure to her daughter, Crown Princess Martha of Norway. The tiara was donned during the 80th birthday celebration of King Gustav V in 1938 and appeared in official portraits throughout the 1930s. Princess Ingeborg often lent this tiara to her daughters, including Crown Princess Martha, who wore it to a dinner at the Norwegian Club in London in 1937. Eventually, it was inherited by Princess Ingeborg's eldest daughter, Princess Margrethe of Denmark, who frequently wore it during the Nobel Prize ceremony and banquet. Princess Margrethe also lent the tiara to her sisters-in-law, Princess Anne of Denmark and Countess Ruth von Rosenborg, who wore it at the wedding ball of King Baudouin. Ultimately, the tiara came into the possession of Countess Ruth, who occasionally lent it to her daughter Countess Desiree and Princess Christine Bernadotte. Although this tiara was not as cherished as the garnet kokoshnik of Princess Vigo, which I discussed in a previous episode, Countess Ruth adorned herself with the turquoise star tiara at several significant events. Countess Ruth later passed the turquoise star tiara of Princess Ingeborg to her eldest daughter-in-law, Countess Jutta von Rosenborg, with the intention that it would be inherited by the eldest son in each generation to signify the lineage descending from the late Prince Axel of Denmark. Countess Jutta, in particular, wore this ornament at a gala evening celebrating the 70th birthday of Queen Margrethe, and we can anticipate seeing it on her and her successors in the future. Let us delve into a masterpiece of jewelry craftsmanship, the lava parure of Queen Desiree. This exquisite set, composed of intricately carved lava cameos set in masterfully wrought gold, includes a tiara, a necklace, a pair of earrings, a large corsage brooch, and 2 bracelets. Although the maker remains unknown, it is widely believed to have been created in France during the Napoleonic era for Queen Desiree, even though she was not depicted wearing the parure. The lava parure was passed down either to her great-granddaughter, Queen Lovisa of Denmark, or her granddaughter, Queen Sophia of Sweden, eventually reaching Princess Ingeborg of Sweden, who bequeathed it to her eldest daughter, Princess Margrethe of Sweden and Denmark. Princess Margrethe preserved the lava parure of Queen Desiree, despite not being seen in it herself, instead lending it to her sister-in-law, Princess Anne of Denmark, for a formal event in the 1960s, a rather rare occurrence. She also loaned the lava parure to her other sister-in-law, Countess Ruth von Rosenborg, for a gala concert at the end of the 1960s. In 1973, Princess Margrethe gifted the lava parure of Queen Desiree for her granddaughter, Countess Desiree von Rosenborg's 18th birthday, naming her after her great-great-great-grandmother, Queen Desiree. Countess Desiree wore the parure to a gala evening in the 1990s, captured beautifully by Stig. Another remarkable piece once worn by Countess Ruth was the diamond tiara of Princess Ingeborg. Adorned with a series of richly embellished diamond garlands and various diamond clusters, this tiara was seemingly acquired by Princess Ingeborg in the early 1950s, when she gifted her magnificent emerald parure to her daughter, Crown Princess Martha. At that time, only the Boucheron pearl circle tiara and the turquoise star tiara were left as alternatives. The diamond tiara was notably worn at the wedding of her granddaughter, Princess Ragnhild of Norway, in 1953, and during the annual Nobel Prize ceremony later that same year. In the 1950s, Princess Ingeborg gifted a replica of the diamond tiara to her granddaughter, Countess Ruth von Rosenborg, who wore it for several official portraits during the 1950s, including at the wedding of Princess Ragnhild in 1953. Countess Ruth inherited the tiara from Princess Ingeborg and wore it at ceremonial occasions until the 1990s. Following Countess Ruth's passing in 2010, the diamond tiara of Princess Ingeborg was inherited by one of her children, who sold the garnet kokoshnik. However, reports suggest that others remain within the family. Let us hope to see this treasured family heirloom once more in the near future. Now let's turn our attention to another exquisite ornament, the diamond flower brooch of Princess Margaret. This brooch, shaped like a diamond flower of unknown origin, features a floral branch with a pearl at the center of one of its diamond blooms. It was one of 3 diamond flower brooches in Princess Margaret's collection, and may have been inherited from her mother-in-law, Princess Mary of Denmark, or more likely from her mother, Princess Ingeborg of Sweden. Princess Margaret began wearing the diamond flower brooch in the mid to late 1950s, including alongside the Khedive of Egypt tiara during the British state visit to Denmark in 1957, and with the Boucheron pearl circle tiara for a portrait with her sons and daughters-in-law. The following month, she graciously adorned it at the wedding of her niece, Princess Astrid of Norway, in 1961. After Princess Margaretha's passing in 1977, the diamond flower brooch became part of the jewels inherited by her sister-in-law, Countess Ruth Rosenborg. Countess Ruth, possessing impeccable taste, wore it at numerous occasions over the years, including Queen Margret's 60th birthday in 2000, the wedding of Crown Prince Haakon of Norway in 2001, and the banquet celebrating King Harald's 70th birthday in 2007. Following Countess Ruth's death in 2010, the brooch was inherited by her eldest son, Count Axel Rosenborg. Shortly thereafter, his wife, Countess Jutta, proudly wore it at her son Count Carl Johann's wedding just a few months after Countess Ruth's passing. While another diamond flower brooch belonging to Princess Margaretha was sold at auction last year, this one has remained in the family, and we eagerly await the day it will grace another occasion. Don't forget that Countess Ruth also wore the famous garnet kokoshnik of Princess Vigo and her opal tiara, which I mentioned in the previous episode. Please share in the comments which piece of jewelry impressed you the most. Also, let us know whose jewelry you would like to learn about, and until next time.